Hey, what's up, Knife Tube? Okay, today we're going to talk about something that I find very interesting. I was watching a video today by a creator and talking about Maxamet and other exotic steels. And with the having microchipping when sharpening on newer DMT plates. And while I do agree that the DMT plates that are made today are nothing like the DMT plates that were made 10 years ago, they're nothing even similar. The older stuff was fantastic. Well, and while I do agree that resin bonded diamond or CBN, metallic bonded, super vitrified, definitely do a better job on Maxamet. But you most certainly, even on fairly coarse stones, you can sharpen Maxamet without having microfracturing. You just have to give a little more care. You have to be a little more cautious. This here is a 200 grit, and it's literally got one sharpening. The video I did of it the other day. It's RI ECI. I paid like $20 for this on Temu. I would say that this stone is probably about like your DMTs of today. This is a 200, and it is quite aggressive. The plate's already broken in. There's not, there is a teeny bit of grit contamination on it, but nothing too bad. The stone, or this plate, is good enough that I went back and bought another one, because they're a nice, fast cutting, consistent diamond plate for 19, $18, whatever I paid for it. Maxamet is a steel that it is definitely finicky. If you're gonna work on a coarse diamond plate, you better know what you're doing, or you absolutely will cause microchipping. But I'm trying to think how to word this, because I don't want to sound like I'm telling, saying somebody else was wrong, because I'm not. Their experience is on diamond plates, they get chipping, microchipping. On resin plates or on resin stones, they don't. And most certainly resin stones are going to put you at a lot less risk of microchipping. But that's not to say that diamond plates, even low quality China diamond plates, in coarse or fine, it doesn't matter, that these plates are going to cause microchipping, because they won't. Now, the first couple runs of Maxamet from Spyderco definitely had a problem. And basically you would be sharpening, and all of a sudden just a chunk of apex would fall away. They fixed it. Anything after those first couple runs has been great, but if you have a piece from those first couple runs, pretty much the only way to sharpen that is on, working on higher grit diamond and convexing is almost a must, or else you're just going to have the apex just fall away, break off. So long as you don't have one of them, and most knives are going to not be that, so you should, if you watch what you're doing, you will not get microchipping even on a very coarse diamond plate. Now, this is a fresh sharp edge. I'm gonna kill it like I always do. This edge here is excellent, but we're gonna go ahead and knock it down and take it to a really super aggressive edge where Maxamet really likes to be. This is a Vitrified F240 edge. Great for Maxamet, awesome edge. Very keen, very aggressive, but we're gonna make it a shredder. So, just gonna show you all real quick that this is a great edge. Okay, super sharp, but we're going to fix that. And we're going to put a very, very aggressive 200 grit diamond edge on it. Here's my ceramic. Close your ears, guys. I know this just kills me too, because this is a beautiful edge. Ready? Oh, here we go. All right. We're going to cut that old apex off. She's dull now. All right. So let's get to work. Dawn, a couple drops of Dawn window cleaner. Alrighty, 200 grit China diamond plate. Now, Maxamet, first thing with it, very, 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 I cannot stress this enough, angle sensitive. If your angle has variation, you're going to have edge issues. It is one of those steels that need very, very consistent angle holding. And as you're, resetting your angle, you need to be very, very, very consistent. Take your time with this steel. If you have money to get resin stones, by all means, they're what you want anyways. They're what you want anyways, but if you can't afford that and you've got, an inexpensive, say like DMD diamond plates, you get like $15-20 on Amazon. If you've got them, you got like the 400 grit, you're good to go. That stone, if you do your job, that 400 will be you'll be ready to go. It'll do a perfectly acceptable job. I would advise against going with extremely coarse on diamond plates, because that will cause microfracturing. Really, on a plate where the diamonds are firmly bedded and you got them really big particles, when you're slamming into them as you're making your passes, you're going to cause microchipping. I would say 180, 200 grit and up. If you're less experienced, it may be better to start out on like a 400 grit, and I wouldn't really advise going much higher than a 400 grit. 4.2, 4.6, somewhere in that range is where Maxamet wants to be. So don't go grab no Atoma 140 and just start working. You're going to cause microfracturing. Or like a DMT Duo Sharp extra coarse. It's just those particles are too large, and you're with a steel that hard and that carbide rich, you're going to cause fracturing. Work on a 180, 200 to start. Take your time, you'll be fine. If you want to lower that risk of microchipping a little more because your skill isn't quite, you're not perfectly sure on your skill, then you might want to just work on a 400 and have that as your, do a one and done. Have that as your start stone and your finish stone. If you have resin plates, use resin plates. If you have metallic bonded stones or super vitrified stones, by all means use them. But if all you have is diamond plates, I'm going to explain to you how, and I'm going to show you under a microscope. There's going to be no microchipping. I'm going to explain to you how to avoid it. Okay. First thing first. As I said before, very, very sensitive to angle. Can you all see? All right. First thing we're going to do, we're going to get our angle. This is at about 17 degrees per side. Okay. Now, we're going to start and just working with light pressure. Very hard, like you would expect Maxamet to be. Now, Maxamet will not create no big, super noticeable burr. You have to finesse Maxamet a little bit. It will create a burr. Some people say it won't. That's not true. It most definitely will. But it's not a super noticeable burr. You have to know. You got to really feel for it, and you got to just, what's the word I'm looking for? You gotta finesse it. You definitely have to finesse it. You guys can see, right? Yes. Okay. All right. Now again. It's ultra important. Excuse me. You want to be incredibly consistent on your angle. Remember, we're working on very light passes. Very light pressure. Remember, you're working with a very, very hard steel here. You're working with really, really hard stuff, so it's imperative that you looking pretty. Okay. form, but not fully. Imperative to maintain that angle. Each time you lift the stone up and put it down, you want to make sure you're at exactly the same angle. All right. Okay. See, I'm going to show you. You're going to be able to hear this burr. Listen up. Here, grab my fingernail. Here, this will actually show it to you. Watch. See? Definitely will create a burr. And it is a burr that you can feel, so don't be scared that you're not going to be able to feel it. Just don't expect it to be like if you were sharpening an 8CR and you raised a huge burr. Don't expect it to be like that. Okay. Definitely got a full burr. Now, back to what's super important. Angle consistency. This is where angle consistency is uber important. Extremely light pass. Okay. This is a steel that with a very steady hand you will be rewarded. Okay. Right now I'm basically slowly refining that burr away, letting the diamonds grab the little burr particles and pulling them off, cutting them loose. Extremely light pressure. You want to be in a zen-like mood to sharpen Maxamet. Okay, still have a little bit of burn. my advice, keep your plate wet, or, you know, lubricated too. Okay, I'm going to show you straight off the stone. There's absolutely no microchipping. It's going to be a quite aggressive edge. Okay, hold on. Let's get you on the microscope. Remember, this is straight off the straw. I mean, straight off the stone. Focus, camera. Okay. Straight off the stone. Now, as you can see, there's some burr, but remember, just, you know, I need to make a few passes on the strop. Like, actually, that might not be burr. Hold on one second. Okay. Okay. There's some burr. Little teeny bit. But no microfractures. That's going to come right off on the strop. Here now, we're going to make a few passes on the strop. Sorry guys, not trying to give y'all seasickness. Okay, let me get the strap. We're going to go straight leather. I'll see. Okay. Straight leather. Going to go slightly over angle. Sorry. over here for the microscopy. Okay, what we got here, super aggressive edge. There's super toothy, super toothy edge. And absolutely zero microchipping. Focus, please. Thank you. Okay, so all it takes is just to be careful, and you will not have no microchipping. Even on more budget, diamond plates. All right there now. Yes. You can just see this very toothy. There's still some micro burr on here. I need to make a few passes on a like a 9-micron diamond strop to get it perfectly clean, and we'll be good to go. So, okay, as you can see, there was no microchipping. We're just gonna go. We're gonna go exactly on angle. Can y'all see? Now we should have Super aggressive. Super aggressive. You're not going to get. I don't want a super clean cutting edge. I want bite. After aggression on this.